Hi, and welcome to CrestCore Realty. Today we're going to go over the lease agreement, and we'll start at the top at the terms. So first we want to make sure that all of the information listed here is correct. If any of the information is incorrect, please make a note of it, and we will address it after the video here today. So scrolling down, we want to make sure that the number of people living in the home is correct, the lease length is correct, and the end date is marking the end of your lease. So each month, payments are due on the 1st and late after the 5th. And after the 5th, there will be a 10% late fee, 10% of your rent. All payments can be mailed to CrestCore Realty with the address listed here. Moving on to the next page, starting at the top with number 1, surrender and holdover. So once you have moved out of your house, you must turn in the keys, and any damages beyond normal wear and tear that are left in the house will be billed to your security deposit. Number 2, assignment and subletting. You agree that you're not subleasing the property to anyone else. Use and occupancy says that you're not running a business out of the home. And liability, we recommend getting renter's insurance. We're not trying to sell you anything, and we don't have anything to offer, but we do recommend it. I recommend whoever you have car insurance from. See, we have homeowner's insurance on the house itself. So let's say if a storm comes through, knocks a tree on the house, and it gets inside. It damages your TV, your furniture, your appliances, all of that. Our homeowner's insurance will cover the structure damages of the home only. Your renter's insurance, however, will cover anything that is your personal property inside of the house. That even includes damages caused by guests or even theft if somebody were to break in. Next up is maintenance. What we handle on maintenance will be your 5 quality of life issues. That's going to be roof, heat, air, plumbing, electricity. Things that we don't handle will be preference-based stuff, such as coming and painting or cleaning a carpet, stuff like that. For any non-emergency maintenance calls, please allow 72 hours for us to acknowledge the call and then 10 days to start any work. Any emergency maintenance we will attempt to handle within 24 to 72 hours, depending on our workflow. Next is pets. Any pet will be $100 per pet, no monthly fee after that. Now, we do not allow any vicious breeds of animals, such as pit bulls, Rottweilers, etc. Next up is the waiver of notice. So Tennessee has a waiver of notice of default for non-payment of rent. All that says is that we do not have to notify you once you're late on your rent. You know you're late. So on the 6th of the month, legally we can take it to the courthouse for the eviction. We do that on the 10th of the month by default. Abandonment. If you've left your property but haven't told us, 30 days after leaving your property, it becomes our possession. Vehicles. We just ask that no vehicles are parked in the yard. That does uphold the look of the neighborhood, and it's also a code enforcement violation. Typically, your neighbors are the ones who will call code enforcement about your car being parked in the yard, and code enforcement will tow your car if it is parked in the yard. Termination. So we do require a 30-day notice to terminate the lease. If you need to terminate the lease before your lease is up, there will be a lease termination fee of 1 month's full rent. So we're going to send you letters, usually about 45 to 60 days out, letting you know that your lease is coming up. If you'd like to renew, we'll have some options there. Or if you'd like to go, let us know. Now, if you don't necessarily want to move out, but you don't want to renew for another year or two, then you will go on a month-to-month basis automatically. And on a month-to-month basis, your rent will be $50 a month extra per month. Next is appliances and utilities. We don't provide any appliances or utilities. And under fire safety, you agree to maintain the smoke alarm provided by us. That just requires putting new batteries in it whenever it needs it. If it starts to beep, maybe you got to take it down because you're cooking or something like that, just put it back up. And you do accept to provide a fire extinguisher. Those can be purchased at your local Walmart, Dollar General, Family Dollar, even Home Depot or Lowe's. If you have one and maybe it's expired, the local fire department will fill those up for free. And pest control. So we're going to give you 30 days to report any pests. That's roaches, ants, water bugs, rodents, reptiles, moths, any kind of pests like that. Let us know within that first 30 days and we'll come out and handle it. Anything beyond the 30 days will be your responsibility. So now we're done with the top portion. Just go ahead and sign on the top, print on the bottom, and make sure to date on the right-hand side of each. Sign, print, and date. And if you need to hit pause while you do that, and we'll continue with the next section after. All right, the next section, lead-based paint. So we are required by law to test for lead-based paint on all properties that we perform renovation work on. We currently have no knowledge of lead-based paint on your property, and if you'd like to have any tests done, you are welcome to. If the tests come back with anything different, please let us know, and we will take care of it for you. So once again, just sign and date, and hit pause if you need to pause. All right, next up is mold and mildew. So currently we have no knowledge of mold at your property. If mold forms, we do need to know about it so we can get out there and handle it ASAP. Now, of course, your moist areas around the home, such as shower tub tile, kitchen sink, places like that, please keep those areas clean and dry. For instance, if you take a hot shower and it gets steamy in the bathroom, just run a fan or open a window or even just leave the door open once you're done and let that air out. Otherwise, just keep it dry and spray Clorox on it. You'll be fine. Now, what we really need to know about and what we'll handle is going to be stuff like, for instance, a roof leak. So if you've got a roof leak and it's coming through the ceiling or coming through the walls, we need to know about that ASAP so we can prevent that mold from occurring. Same thing with a sink leak. If it's leaking under the sink and getting on the wood of the cabinet, stuff like that, let us know about that so it doesn't happen. Now, if it has happened already, we need to know ASAP as well so we can handle it. At the bottom, sign and date. And the last part of our lease form is the property acceptance letter. You can just initial on the side each of these lines. Starting from the top is window screens. Now, like I said before on maintenance, what we handle is going to be quality of life. That's roof, heat, air, plumbing, electricity. Things that we don't come out and do is add any additional window screens if there are none. We don't provide any shower curtains or shower rods. We also don't supply any additional weather stripping if it's not already there. Appliances are not included with the property. If there are appliances in the home, please consider it a bonus. We do not provide any kind of maintenance on appliances. Mechanical tubs, we don't service any jacuzzis or hot tubs. And if you have a fireplace, we do recommend having it inspected before using it. Now, you are accepting the property in its current condition, meaning that the only future modifications that will be made will be to make the property into a safe and habitable condition. And finally, we do not accept any cash payments, money orders, cashier checks, certified funds, will be the only payments that we take. And at the bottom, just sign and date here. All right, next up is the welcome letter. This is just an overview of what we've gone over so far. One thing to note is that the maintenance line number is right here. You're going to dial the number and hit extension 2. And you'll get a live operator 24 hours a day. For your security deposit, if you're wondering about that, you will receive 100% of your deposit back within 30 days of moving out unless you fail to pay the rent or violate any terms of the lease, if your house is damaged beyond normal wear and tear, or if your house is left unreasonably dirty or with trash upon moving out. And we've already touched on lease renewals. We'll touch on payment information here in just a moment. All right, maintenance and emergencies. Once again, maintenance hotline up at the top. And emergencies such as a fire, please call 911 first before calling us. If you smell gas, MLGW will be the contact for that. And if your sewage is backing up, please contact the city sewer department and they'll come out and blow the line out for you. Now, things that we handle, that we put on priority emergencies, will be if you have no heat and it's below 50 degrees, if you have no air conditioning and it's above 80 degrees outside, if there's no water at your house, or if you've got a busted water pipe. Those calls will be put on priority before any other non-emergency calls. Now, if you lock yourself out, we do have a 24-hour locksmith service. He does require $25 in cash plus any additional labor and parts costs to get you back into your home. Now, down here at the bottom, please note that emergencies always take priority in scheduling. Any resident who raises their voice, uses profanity, or otherwise disrespectful will be served last for non-emergencies. Next up is the transfer procedure. So if you want to transfer into another CrestCore home and you're currently in a lease with us, we just ask that your current lease, you've been in it for 3/4 of the term. So what that means, if you're on a 12-month lease, it will be 9 months we require you to be there. We ask that no balance is outstanding on your current account, and there is a $100 transfer fee that must be paid to start the transfer process. Now, this is in lieu of paying an early termination fee of 1 month's rent. And the security deposit, the full security deposit for the new home must be paid before moving in. Any remaining deposit from your previous residence will be credited to your new account within 30 days of moving out. All right, up next is the payment locations. So Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 in the office, you can come up and pay. If you'd rather do online payments, you can go to CrestCore.com and set up a tenant portal. In that tenant portal, you can set up payment arrangements to pay either an auto payment each month, or if you want to do a one-time payment where you go in and click each month, you can do that. In that portal also, you have the ability to have a copy of your lease. There's maintenance request forms in there, and you can just stay up to date on everything regarding your home. So mail, you can mail those in. If you'd like to drop it off at the drop box, we have a drop box at our lobby on our front door. The building has a drop box before you walk in the building. If you look to the left, there's a black drop box with gold letters that says CrestCore Realty LLC. You can drop it off there 24 hours a day, day or night, and we'll be by every day to pick those payments up. And if you'd like to drop it off-site, we have a Pay Near Me program where you can go to Ace Cash Express or Family Dollar and pay your rent in cash to the cashier. And you need a Pay Near Me card, which you can pick up with the front desk on your way out today. All money orders, please make those payable to CrestCore Realty, LLC, And do make sure that your address is on there, as that will be your account number, so we know where to apply those payments. And the payment due dates, of course, the 1st or the 5th. After the 5th, 10%, and 10 days past due is when the evictions begin. And finally is your payment schedule for the next 3 months here. The first line will have today's date and how much you paid for rent. The next line will have your next payment due date, along with a prorated amount depending on the time of the month that you're moving in. And the third payment will be back to the normal payment amount, and that will continue for the remainder of the lease. Thank you for joining us today. One more thing before we go is the move-in checklist. So once you leave here today, we're going to dispatch one of our guys to come out and take any boards off your house and turn your water back on. You can expect about 24 hours for that to occur. There's no need for you to be there. He can do all of that if you're still in the process of moving, stuff like that. On here, though, you want to make note of any problems, visual problems, mechanical problems that you see. For instance, if it's something that you know that we don't normally handle for maintenance, like you've got scratches on your walls, and if that's something, if you don't want to go back and paint over that, and you know that we don't come out and paint, just mark it on here, so that way when you do move out, we can go back to this and have record of it, and it doesn't get charged to your security deposit. You have about a week to turn this in. If you want to, you can take pictures of anything to supplement this, and you can also get online on your tenant portal and upload those pictures to a work order, so we already have them in-house. So if you have any questions, just holler at one of us before you get out of here today. We'll be happy to handle it. If there's anything else that we can help you with, just let us know. And thank you for joining us today, and welcome home.